Hello, beautiful people. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honesty Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I'm here for another daily motivational video where we do not just use the tarot to become the alchemists of our lives. Guys, I know I have been a little delayed. Welcome to our newbies to the channel. Welcome to the family. But it's been all for good reasons. Y'all know I always have a problem when I'm like when I start up something new. And so I just finished up 2 weeks ago. I finished up my part 1 of my novel, and now I'm starting back writing again, and I've been in a really good writing groove. And so it's just been hard trying to break that and then also keep up with Honestly Sis. But everything has been really good. Even though shit has been crazy, I have been personally in a good space. So angel number 49, just want you to know nothing is wrong. I just been busy. And so like I told you before, I think on the last video, just learning how to respect my flows and just, you know, really doing these messages when I feel called. And yesterday I saw something that was just so fucking magical, and it just gave me so much hope. And like, I was like, okay, I'm ready to come and tell you guys what I've been up to. And so before I get into it and spill my guts, let's just go ahead and go straight to the cards. Dear God, guardian angel, and ancestors, we come to you as humbly as we know how. We just say thank you. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for just allowing us to be able to connect in this way. Now, God, I ask that you please deliver these messages to me and through me. Please deliver these messages that you feel for our highest good to help us bring heaven on earth. Allow no doubt allow no route for confusion or doubt. And God, name I pray, I say. See, that's why I gotta stop taking breaks. When I come back, I don't even know what I'm saying. Alright, so we're gonna I want to stick with my same method. I really did like how I was doing it the last time. And so we just gonna do one card, okay? And 2 came out, but I'm really gonna try to just stick with just one moving forward. Oh, I love this. So the 2 cards that came out is strength and resilience. This message of strength and resilience coming out, I actually really like it. Because I do feel like we have, I don't know about you guys, but we just kind of came out of like the eclipse seasons in May, the North Node. So if you are familiar with astrology, the North Node is kind of, I guess I look at the North Nodes, and mind you, I'm not an astrologer, but I look at the North Nodes like your old life and your new life, like your past life and the life that you're intended to have in this current one. And so the nodes has switched from, I forgot where they used to be in, but now they're in Scorpio and Taurus. And so with the node switching, I feel like with the eclipses and everything, it's bringing things up to get us to relook at how we look at our finances, how we look at stability, because Taurus rules, you know, home, luxurious, you know, grounded stuff like that. It's an earth sign, you know, so it's really more about tangible things. And then with Scorpio, it's about your emotions and like, you know, your sexuality and your relationships. And so I feel like right now we've kind of just been in this period of like review, and like I feel like I know personally I have been having a whole lot of shit come up from my past. Like literally one time I was walking and like, you know, it was just like I just got like flashback to like when I was like in middle school or going to like a science going on a field trip at the science center, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like I saw it as clear as day, but I'm just like, where did that come from? And so I've been just having like all of these memories from my past come up. And I think a lot of that is happening to a lot of us. And I think it's happening because God wants us to see our strength. He wants us to see how resilient we are. I just want you to realize that sometimes a lot of the stuff that comes up for your past, when it just randomly come in your mind, it's not coming up because it's like trying to punish you or make you feel bad. You know, it's really coming up because it wants you to like review it and like see how far you come. I think so often we look at our past selves and we like shit on our past self, like, damn, she was smart or she did this. And you got to realize like you did the best that you could do with the information that you had at that time. And so now you may be in this period of where you don't feel as strong, where you feel like, you know, you don't know where you're going. And then God is bringing you all of these reminders of your past because he's trying to remind you, like, hey, look where you were back then. Like, you really ain't know where the fuck you was going. You really was confused, and somehow you found it here. So you have to know that you're always going to be okay. Like, I also feel like, you know, because of everything that's been going on in the world, and things have been so intense, that God is really just trying to remind you that we as a people, we are resilient. Like, we have been through some shit, and I feel like we're going to go through some shit, but we're going to make it past it. I think, you know, we get excited when we say things like, oh, we're building new earth, and, you know, life is about to change. Honestly, like, people get really excited when they say, oh, we're building new earth. And it's like, yeah, you should get excited that we're building new earth, but you also have to realize that if we're building new earth, that means that the old earth, the old systems, the old way that the world used to work is going to change. There is literally, like, I was just explaining to you guys, there was a shift in the nodes. Currently, there's a shift in power happening where we have our spirit team, we have the universal forces, we have all of the unforeseen side rooting for the underdog, and they're trying to right some wrongs. They're trying to bring true justice in. And in order to do that, in order for them to help us, we have to do our part, and we have to be strong, and we have to know we're resilient. We have to not be so focused on the bullshit and really just stand strong in our truth and who we are and what we want to bring in this world. If we want to bring heaven on earth. And honestly, before I even say that, I want to say this. I was listening to Jamil. I'm always listening to Jamil. She's just my favorite. I love listening to her interviews. Even when people I don't, like, sometimes, you know, of course, like everybody do, you listen to people that you want to hear from. But sometimes I just listen to people that I'm not necessarily familiar with, but I know their name and I want to learn more about them. And I just learned so much from Jamil. I'm just such a groupie fan. I love that woman. Anyways, very random. Probably because she's from Detroit. I don't know. Maybe that's it. It's very weird. But anyways, I was listening to Jamil, and Jamil, this episode, it was the episode that she had with Sam J. And she was just explaining how, I forgot what the census or whatever, maybe it was the Census Bureau. They were predicting that by 2024, so pretty much like 20 years from now, maybe not 2024, because the 2024 is like 2 years from now, 2040, they were predicting that, like, the minority in this country, so black people and, you know, Hispanic and Asians and all of that, we will be the minority. And so, you know, white people are pretty much becoming extinct within the next 20 years. Like, they are going to be like fucking dinosaurs, you know? And you have to realize with that happening, that's why so much hatred and fuel is going on, because they know that they're dying out. And honestly, I don't feel bad for them, and I'm not going to feel bad for saying this, but you can't, like, kill off every fucking body else. You do all these genocides, do all this, and think that you're going to just go on to victory. No, like, you guys have to understand this universe works in balance. And so at this point in time, God is saying, enough. I'm done with this bullshit. Like, y'all have let this play out for long enough, and now it's time to bring in some fucking justice. Now it's time to right the wrongs. And okay, let me just go to the cards, because I'm like, and also I have like all these, I guess downloads is what people call them. I don't know, but I say that to say that in the next 20 years, we're in the process of transitioning New Earth, right? And a lot of you guys, and I'm not even a lot of you, I mean, say a lot of you guys, because I don't talk to you, but I hear often, like, people being like, well, you know, the world is going to shit. Well, I listen to the read all the time. And it's like, the world is going to shit. Why do we care? Why should we care? And it's like, yeah, it looks like the world is going to shit, but you have to realize 20 years, that's our lifetime. That's all I'm going to be, what, 20, I'm going to be 50. Like, I'm still, shit, looking at our elders, 50 is young as fuck. Like, that's our lifetime. And we keep letting these people feel like, you know, we're going back in time. We keep getting so scared, not realizing that they are the ones that are scared. That's why they're retaliating that way. That's why they're, you know, having all of these rampant planned attacks. I don't care what nobody say. All of these mass shootings are not just magically happening. These motherfuckers are planned, they are strategic, and they are doing it for a reason. They're doing it to scare you from your reality. You're trying to do it to scare you from your destiny. You're trying to do it to scare you away from your own fucking power. Because if you turn on the news tell you that the world is going to shit. The news tell you that there's another virus. There's this. It's so much fear being pumped into you. And the reason why they're doing that, because if you're scared, if you feel like the world is going to end at any given time, you're not going to go on your path. You're not going to look in your purpose. You're not going to work hard every day. But that's the trick of the fucking enemy. I ain't read the Art of War, but I'm sure that's in that motherfucker. Mind control, make you feel scared, make you feel off rational. And so this is why God is bringing this message saying, Angel number 1023, focus. Stay strong. You see this angel right here? It's literally on a tree. When I feel this, I feel protest. I feel like God is saying, I want you to plant your 2 feet down and say no fucking more. I will not be ruled by fear. I will not be ruled by greed. You will not let me believe that hate is better than love. No fucking more. We are going to bring heaven on earth by any means necessary. You're not going to scare me out of this shit. You're not going to scare me from my motherfucking victory, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to scare you from your fucking victory. And so God is saying, focus. You're fucking resilient. Go. And the reason why they're trying to have this fucking critical race theory is because they're trying to take away our fucking resilience. They're trying to not let you see how fucking strong and how fucking powerful your people is. If you are alive in this motherfucking day and age, if your bloodline made it, baby, you are the best of the motherfucking best. And it's time that you act like it. It's time that you move like it. And it's time that you stand and you're on your 4 corners in your motherfucking world and say no fucking more. Stop looking to fucking Congress. Stop looking to the fucking federal government and do shit in your fucking neighborhood. What do you feel called to do? What do you feel called to begin? Because I don't know about you, but I've been in a motherfucking writing frenzy over this motherfucker. I've been averaging 2K words a day. Every day I'm writing up like, oh, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. If you don't feel that urgency, what you doing? What are you here for? We're all gonna die. We all gotta die for something. Go watch fucking Lovecraft. We're all slowly walking to our motherfucking deaths. So if you want to sit here and say, oh, well, I'm just gonna be in my little corner. I'm gonna act like nothing's going on. And then guess what? You're going to inherit this shit to your kids, because it ain't like y'all being abstinent. It ain't like you're not having kids. It's not like you're not trying to fucking live your life. You trying to live your life and act like all this shit ain't going on. But wake the fuck up. Get your ass out of this fucking social media shit. These people who created this shit, their kids don't even have this shit. They are not even on this shit. This shit is a fucking distraction. And you get on there and you let it suck your joy. You let it suck your optimism. You let it suck your energy. You let it take away your victory. You let it take away all your strength, all your resilience, how great you are. Because you looking at your fucking life thinking it ain't shit. Thinking, oh, well, I ain't got this. I ain't going on no motherfucking vacation. I ain't doing it. These people put them fucking vacations on there to make they self feel better. To make they self be propped up against something. Look at this shit for what it really is. And I'm going to move on. Angel number 1325. God, clarify this message of strength and resilience. Underneath that, there was 2 of Cups. God is trying to bring us into union with who we really are. Well, what we really want to be. I'm so fired up. Like, I'm so just, woo! Like, I'm just... God, don't y'all start. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is what, y'all, I'm gonna fly off this chair. I'm gonna fly off this fucking chair. Angel number 1414. I'm gonna fly. We talked about this Ace of Swords, didn't we? The Ace of Swords, we know the Sword is all about communication. The Ace of Swords is all about a brand new way of moving in the world, of being in the world. I recently was writing an article for Honestly Sis. I don't know if it got published or maybe at this point it's like all my work is just kind of blending into each other. But anyways, I was talking about the time where I manifested this kind of Black Healers retreat. And one of the healers, she walked up to me, she was the leader of the retreat, and she told me there's a big difference between understanding and knowing. Understanding and knowing. When you know some shit is for you, when you know where you're going, when you know your victory is yours, when you know, fuck Kanye now. Let's think about genius, right? Kanye knew even when it didn't feel good, even when people was playing him, that nigga knew he had something. He knew that I'm going to get on this motherfucker and I'm going to fuck it up. And that's why we were so inspired and so we keep forgiving the motherfucker because deep down inside, he's showing us. Like, he showed us the magic. He showed us. Now, and we got to, and thank God for Cootie. Thank God for Cootie that we got to see that shit for real. We ain't got to just hear about it. We got to really see that shit. See those emotions. See all those things. But regardless, he had this knowing. And this is what God's trying to get you to understand. It's time for you to get a knowing about who the fuck you are and where the fuck you going and why the fuck we're going through this shit. Know who the fuck you are. You have to think, fuck the worldly shit, fuck all this spiritual shit. There has to be something that be like, well, why am I alive? Why did God choose for me to be alive at this time, in this body, with this mind, in this city? Why? Angel number 1637. Why would God go out of his way to do this? And I'm going to tell you why God went out of his way to do it. Because it was another message that I was telling you guys, that we are a representation of God. I'm going to hurry up because I want to wrap this up. We are a representation of God, right? And I want to take you guys a step further, because yes, we are a representation of God's desire, right? God had a desire. He had a certain way that he wanted to be in the world. I said this before and I'll say it again. God was like, I want to be the greatest basketball player in the world. And then he was Michael Jordan. Then he's like, you know what? I'm going to do this shit again, but I want to do it where I'm a family man and I love people and I just inspire people through sports. And then he became LeBron James. God said, I wanted to be the best fucking performer, inspiring the world. And then he created Beyonce. And so this is what I'm saying to you guys. You were created because God said, hey, I want to express this part of myself. That's how the world was created. God, the universe started with this, right? It was just nothing. It was just God by himself. And God was like, this shit is boring. I want to experience something else. So he created another part of him that was different from what he was. He was darkness, then he created light. Then God said, well, I want to be a good guy. Then he said, I want to be a bad guy. I want to be, and this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Every time God has a desire, two things are born. It's the desire and it's the opposite effect of that desire. Because God, what God wants, what this world is about while we're in this motherfucker, is for experiences. And so if you ask me what God has been trying to do since the beginning of time, since how somehow we fucking got in slavery, I feel like God has been just trying to undo this. I feel like just like how we go through these cards and we have the major arcana, each time God has tried a new cycle and he learned from that cycle. And then he said, okay, now I'm going to put these next people in. And then we go through another cycle and he said, okay, now we're going to pick the next people in. Then we go through the cycle again. And the way that I look at these cycles, I look at the cycle from, okay, we're going to do Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Okay, we see what happened from that, from the civil rights movement. Let's start the cycle again. Okay, so now we're going to just do public figures. We're going to do Oprah Winfrey. We're going to do Bill Cosby. We're going to do, bringing leaders and monuments of the system. Okay, that shit doesn't work. Let's start it again. Okay, let's start with with people who come from the bottom, who started themselves up. Okay, we developed this thing called hip hop, because remember, hip hop was not even, it just fucking manifested in the world, right? So we're going to create this thing called hip hop, because you got to think about it. God realized that in order to inspire a group of people, they have to look like them. They have to understand their struggle. And so this is why we have hip hop, right? And so God created hip hop, and from hip hop, he created these, little nuclei. And so then we had the Tupacs, and we had the Biggies, and we had the NAA. We went through that cycle, we learned from it. And then we went from that cycle, and now we're in the cycle of, we had the cycle of J, Ye, and B. Okay, we're going through that cycle, and now we're in a new cycle. We're in a cycle of Drake, Kendrick, and whoever the new person is. Do you see what I'm saying? Each time, now I did this from a macro level. Same things is happening in our life. Each time, God has created a cycle, a nucleus, your mama, your daddy, your thing. Okay, I learned from that. Let's do it again. This person. He's trying to get the right combination so that he can take the world from hate to love. Okay, I started in love. Somehow I got in hate. Now I want to go here, because he wants to understand the experience, right? Same thing is going into your life. God is saying the things that you went through in your life, he didn't have you go through them because you were a shitty person. He didn't have them go through it because it was like, yo, let's just see what the fuck, let's just see how she do. Let's just do it for her fucking entertainment. No, God had you go through those things because he wanted you to learn something from those things. He wanted you to take those things, learn something, and say no more. Using your strength, realizing, okay, all of these things may have happened to me, but these things are not a reflection of me, and so I'm going to take the lessons and move the fuck on. This is what God is trying to do for you. Angel number 2022. He's telling you to use your fucking intuition. Use this thing. Use this guidance system that we have in our body to move through it, to navigate. You are the high priestess. You know what's right and wrong. And if only you would get beyond this hurt feelings, right or wrong. I was just going through this thing this week about really questioning myself, like, why have I been so hell-bent on being a good person? Every time I get into, like, some shit start happening in my life, I'm like, I'm just such a good person, and I don't understand why. And I'm like, Amber, where the fuck does that even come from? Like, why is it so necessary for you to be a good person? Fuck being a good person. Are you good to yourself? All those times you're being such a good person, what was you being to you? And I had to be honest, like, damn, like, maybe I don't need to be a good person. Maybe I need to be a selfish person. Maybe I need to be a person who put my wants and needs above everything, and then things will work out better for me. But so often we're giving from this other place of, like, accept me, love me. But anyways, I digress. What this whole message is coming about is because God is asking us to stand our ground, to fight for our dreams, to fight for our new reality. 20 years is not a long time. Shit, we done been through 20 years. We have been through 20, like, I'm 33. Like, 20 years ain't shit. In 20 years, we're going to have kids. In 20 years, I'm just trying to get you to understand that we are in this time where we get to build new earth. And by us being scared, and by us looking at the TV and being like, oh, I can't possibly fix it, like, that's a trick of the fucking enemy that wants you to feel that way. But God is saying, don't do that. Don't allow this to make you stop going after your dream. Don't allow this to make you be defeated. He wants you to look at all this stuff that happened in this fucked up world, all this stuff that's happening in this cycle, all these ideas that you have on how to resolve it, and move on. Don't focus on it. Just focus on where you are trying to go ultimately, okay? Using your intuition to be resilient. I think so many of us, we get ourselves fucked up, and if we're really honest, the reason why we're in shitty places is because we wasn't true to ourselves. That's a big motherfucking pill to swallow. To be like, damn, like, yeah, I had to let a whole bunch of shit go because I was living a life that wasn't even mine. I was living a life for somebody else. And so, yeah, of course I would end up I would have to hit rock bottom to recognize that this isn't my reality. This isn't what I was meant to do. And when that happens, then you get to do things differently. Then you get to move in the world differently. This week I was having like some issues at work, and like I had this interaction with one of our like, you know, higher ups. And it really made me feel like, cuz it was just so dismissive of just everything. You know, like my time, my talent, my education, you know, like just, it was just like, he just really treated me like I wasn't shit. And it made me feel so fucking low. And I was really like, you know what? Fuck this job. Like, I'm like, I will never, ever, 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 ever care again about this job, about what these people think about me, who these people are. I would never allow them to make me feel that way again. Because who is he? He's nobody to me at the end of the day. And when I log the fuck off, when I go in the world, he has no bearing over me. But yet I allowed him to reduce me to tears. Just because I wanted to, I'm like, oh, I'm a good employee. I tried to catch this and you don't want to acknowledge it. You know, like, it's just, but I'm happy that it happened because I took my fucking power back. I said, no more. Like, no more. Like the emotional attachment, the wanting to be good. I'm not going to be good to any. I'm not out here trying to be a good person anymore. I'm trying to be good to myself. I'm trying to honor me at the end of the day and take care of me and make sure that I'm okay. When you do that, that knowing that when I take care of myself, I make myself a priority. I go after my goals. I know where I'm going. I know I'm going to victory. And so I walk different. I move different. I don't allow certain things to sway me, you know, anymore. I reprioritize my time, my effort, my attention, and how I go about things. And when you do that, that's sending a whole new signal to the universe. Okay? All right. I feel like that was just a lot. But I'm actually going to end it with, okay, I'm not going to be disobedient. I'm going to end it with a work your life. Dear God, clarify this message of resilience, strength. To clarify, this message is all about standing your ground. It's all about fighting for your dreams, fighting for new earth, fighting to bring heaven on earth. It's about when you go, as we're going through this time of great change, as we're going through this time of transformation and these eclipses, when things in your past come up, know that they're not coming up because to make you weak or to knock you off your ground, but to show how strong you are and to continue to stand your ground, to move away from drama, but taking the lessons that they taught you. You know, sometimes before I used to be like, you know, this is moving away from trauma, but you know, the drama, you know, like this baggage is going to get to you. But right now I really look at it differently I see this as like, you know, this is you moving away from all of the things from your past and taking those lessons with you to move forward, to help you forge a new way of being in the world. God is saying, as you move forward, as you go on your path to realizing your full self, your most authentic self, God says, do it with using your high priestess, listening to that voice on the inside and not dismissing it, but really listening to it. Because it's when we don't listen to it is when we find ourselves fucked up. But then at the same time, God is saying, the reasons that you have those moments of where you fucked up is so that you can see your resilience, to show you why this high priestess is so important, to show you why you should always listen to your first mind. I don't know about you, but I know when I was younger, I used to say that all the time, like, damn, I know I should have just went with my first mind, because every time I don't, those lessons are coming up to show you why you should trust your intuition, because that is ultimately what that little voice is. If you do all of those things, you're going to have a brand new way of communicating, a brand new way of being in the world. Also, with this enlightenment coming out, I feel like this is like before I used to think this is just about speaking with the swords, but for some reason with this fist coming out, it's just like a brand new way of moving in the world. I think you move with clarity, you move with focus, you move with intention, and you move with this deep knowing that God got your back. All right. Final message. Clarify strength, resilience, 7 of Wands, 6 of Swords, High Priestess, and the Ace of Swords. God, allow no room for doubt or confusion. Why did you bring this message of strength and resilience? What do we need to know? Mirror. Mirror with Anna seeding the light, laying the foundation of the divine plan. Angel number 30. I think I will read both of these. The mirror is a action, I'm pretty sure. If I'm right. Yeah. Oh, mirror is an inquiry. Okay. Mirror is inquiry and the activation. So, yeah, we'll do that. Let's do a mirror first. 44. Angel number 3033. All right. Who or what is triggering you? The filter of our own experience is how we experience life 90% of the time, through our own projections. When someone reminds us of an unhealed experience, we get triggered. Often it's an unconscious thing. People and situations can trigger our mirrors to reflect back to us what we believe to be true about life, the universe, and ourselves. Mirrors pointing to our shadows and our light. Mirrors revealing parts of us that we are not yet to be accepted, witnessed, or loved. This card is guiding you to look closely at what experiences or people are currently triggering in you and what they could be mirroring back to you. When have you felt like this before? Could they be opportunities to heal something in you, or are they shining a light on something that longs to be witnessed in you? This goes for the good and the bad. The good, those who we admire and put on a pedestal. If we do not realize that we are attracted to them because we are like them, we will need to cut them down in order to rise to their levels. The bad, those we despise, are envious of, and put down. If we do not realize they trigger something in us, then it is still yet to be healed. Excuse me. If we do not realize that they are triggering something in us, then it is still yet to be healed, and we may remain hurt and wounded ourselves. Work on your life. Who or what is triggering you? What is in you that they are triggering? What part of you longs to be witnessed? As I told you guys, I started at this beginning of this message that we were going through an eclipse seasons and that a lot of stuff from your past is coming up. These things are coming up so that you can just see your resilience, so that you can see your strength, see how strong you are, and they're coming up for you to get the lessons. This card is also talking about people. I think we just came out of Mercury retrograde, or maybe we're in Mercury retrograde. Who knows? But Mercury retrograde is known to bring back some people from your past. So again, triggers. This message perfectly ties into what we've been talking about. A really good example of a triggering that I have personally just decided to address is that I realized that because of how the Kardashians are viewed in society and definitely in the Black community, that sometimes I have guilt and sometimes I have hesitations on supporting them and watching their shows. And before I used to they my guilty pleasure and all of this stuff, but I had to really just realize that I can't hate on the Kardashians because on a soul level, they represent everything I want to be. Kim is somebody who, yes, she had a wealthy upcoming, but she's somebody who who had this dream and this vision and this plan for herself, and she made it happen with her family intact. And that's what I want. I want to be, rich, famous, maybe not so famous. Fuck it a minute. Yeah, I want to be rich, famous, but I also want to do it surrounded by family and people that I love. So it's it really doesn't make sense for me to keep hating or being you know, judging them or trying to like diminish how I feel about them, because ultimately they represent an aspect of who I want to be. So that's just an example of the mirror concept. And then last but not least, I'm going to end this message with Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, the divine path, angel number 3430. I was recently listening to my girl Destiny. I can't remember her page right now. But anyways, she was just talking about like Jesus, and like when she turned 33, she started having like all of these revelations about Jesus. And I know I personally been having a lot of stuff about Jesus. Like Jesus has been on my head. So it just feels very like, you know, synchronistic that his grandma gonna come out. So here is the final message. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundations for Christ's consciousness to be woven throughout all of life. She is not widely known, but without her, Christ's consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generations that came before her, that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being, while knowing that they would not see the glorious end results. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, and the mystic who can see the thread that is woven throughout all of life. Anna teaches us that we have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. One person's part is not worthier than another. One person's part may be to mother their children. Another may be to gather women in a circle each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we are incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. And if you remember, angel number 3613, when I started this message, I said that, you know, 20 years, we're building new earth. And I know a lot of us want to feel like, oh, well, you know, how am I going to help? Nigga, I don't know, but you need to follow your intuition and do whatever God asked you to do, because it's obviously something that is going to help. Like, we have to leave this world better than we came in. Like, it's not okay to just give up. It's not okay to be like, well, I'm just going to look out for me. Like, no, we got to leave this bitch better than what we came, regardless of if we're going to reap the benefits of it. That's what Anna did. That's why we're in Christ consciousness. That's why we have these capabilities now, because of our elders and our people before us that was just like, fuck it. Like, I have to stand for something. I have to try. Like, y'all ain't even trying out this motherfucker. Like, come on. All right, if you do want to try, put your hand on your heart and put your hand on your heart and agree with me as I say this. Behold, Anna, thank you for laying the foundation of the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender to my part of the divine plan. Beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundations for the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender to my part of the plan. Beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundations for the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender to my part of the divine plan. Ashe. All right, that's all the messages I have for you. If you made it to the end of this message, oh my God, the age of light. You've been training lifetimes for this. Let me just say this last thing. We some old assholes. I don't know about y'all, but I honestly just been feeling like I've been here since the beginning of time. Like, and I just was like, you know what? I'll just do new earths. Okay, God, bring me down here because I'm ready to build a new motherfucking earth, just like I did in Egypt, and I'm gonna do it again. Okay. Say no. But anyways, that is all the messages I have for you. You have been training lifetimes for this. And I just, please just accept yourself. Please just, see how resilient you are. Do not give up on your dreams because baby, we need you. Okay? You got this. Use your intuition. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right, y'all. That's all the messages I have for you. If you made it to the end of this message, please give me a thumbs up. If you made it to the end of this message, you're not subscribed. What are you waiting for? Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever, ever let a motherfucker tell you what you can't do. See you tomorrow. Bye.